Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jonathan Best coming at you once again from the Boulder Vapor House here on the hill in Boulder, Colorado. And today with you, we're going to take you through a line of juices that was recently sent to us for consideration to see if we want to carry them on our shelves. Tonight we're going to be looking at the Star from Ohio NicQuid. Now they sent us over 36 flavors, which is pretty intense. I cracked open every single bottle, smelled all of them, and I picked out 8 of my favorite smells to try them out for you today. Now, I'm pretty stoked about this because we don't carry NicQuid here at the Boulder Vapor House, and this taste test is going to determine whether or not they make the cut. Now, NicQuid itself is broken up into 4 different categories, and the yellow caps are their bakery and dessert flavors. The green caps are their mint and menthol flavors. You can find tobacco flavors hidden under the red cap, and the blue cap bottles all contain juice flavors, fruit flavors specifically. Now, I'm pretty stoked about this because this was kind of like a marathon taste testing session for me. And I'm pretty excited to share with you some of my ideas. So the 8 flavors that I picked are as follows. In the bakery section, we're going to look at their biscotti and their butterscotch flavors. In their menthol, we're going to take a look at their apple frost and smooththol. We're also going to take a look at their Gen 7 and their Midnight Express and the tobacco. And we're going to take a look at their peach lemonade and Palm Beach flavors in the fruits. Now, when I cracked open all of these bottles, one of the things that really surprised me was the fact that the scents weren't too overpowering. In fact, out of the 36 total flavors I found, there were 4 or 5 separate juices that I didn't get an awful lot of those nose notes on. But these 8, I feel, are the shining stars of their line. So let's take a look at the bakery flavors first. When I picked up that butterscotch flavor and I opened up that bottle, it is exactly what it says on the tin. It is butterscotch to the T. But when I baked it, it tasted almost a little alcoholic. Now granted, it was really rich, really velvety, but it had an almost chemically taste on the back end. And when I baked the butterscotch, the interesting thing about it is I was expecting a lot of almond notes with those kind of cookie flavors, but really the interesting thing that I got out of it was a predominantly popcorn flavor. Now that's kind of strange, and it's one of the things that makes me think that maybe these are some pretty young juices that could use some steeping. So if you ended up ever picking up some of their bakery flavors, you definitely want to let them steep before you vape them. The menthol and mint flavors I was super excited about because I love menthol and mint. The smooththol was super intense, really sinus clearing menthol, but we're not talking over chemically or over medicine tasting. Even though I really like that juice, and of the 3 so far, that's been my favorite, that apple frost left a little bit to be desired. Sure, there were some really strong mint flavors, and I really liked those. But it made me think that because I didn't taste too much of that apple, it made me think of other fruits maybe that they could have chose to pair instead of that green apple flavor. I mean, after all, green apple is really crisp and really intense, and to pair that with a menthol, I'm afraid the apple got a little bit overshadowed. Now, I'm not a big tobacco juice flavor guy. I very rarely ever vape them. But I can tell you that that popcorn note from the biscotti flavor reemerged once again in these tobacco flavors, which made me feel kind of odd, especially when I first opened them, and definitely when I dripped both of these flavors. The Midnight Express, which is a really rich and full-bodied tobacco, great throat hit, but I couldn't honestly get past a lot of that popcorn flavor. That Gen 7, despite the fact that I love the comic book reference in the name, didn't really hold a candle, I feel, to the Midnight Express. So in terms of the tobacco flavor, neither one was really that strong of a candidate. They're interesting, could definitely use some development, but I don't think I would pick them up and vape them by choice. And when I got to the fruit flavor line, now I love fruit flavors. If you've watched any of my reviews before, you will know how much I love those really intense, fresh-tasting fruits. But the problem I found with both these, both the Palm Beach and with the peach lemonade, is that I didn't really taste fresh fruit. I tasted almost candied fruit, confection fruit. I mean, the Palm Beach, as you can probably guess from the title, is a heavy pomegranate flavor. I like pomegranate flavors, don't get me wrong, but it tasted almost like a pomegranate candy, not necessarily like a pomegranate itself. And when I opened that peach lemonade bottle, my nose was absolutely attacked with some really crisp lemonade flavors. I love those citrus notes, but the peach really only came out in the exhale, only specifically through the nose. So one of the interesting things about those juices is the fact that they they weren't quite as natural tasting, as wholesome as I would come to expect. Now, if you've seen any of our videos here before, you know how much of a stickler I am for high quality juice. And even though NicQuid is pretty famous, a lot of people seem to like it. It's a good medium cost brand. Got great packaging, those little clear plastic boxes, beautiful looking labels. It certainly looks like it's a well-made product, but for some reason, and I don't really know what it is, it just didn't do it for me. Maybe I'm spoiled. Maybe here at the Boulder Vapor House we have too much amazing high quality juice, but if I was to be honest with you, I don't really see NicQuid on our shelves. With a little bit of steeping, well, quite a lot of steeping, maybe with a little bit of a formula redesign, this could definitely have the potential to be a high quality juice brand. But I'm afraid that since they're playing to the middleman, they're not giving me those intense flavors I want. They're not taking those bold stances on really unique flavor combinations. If you ask this guy's opinion, I would say that this brand is a pass. There's a lot of great juices out there in a similar price range. And in all honesty, I think that if you were to come into the Boulder Vapor House, you could find some high quality juices that could fit these bills infinitely better. A little bit of development, sure. But I don't know if you'll see this on the Boulder Vapor House shelves anytime soon. So thanks for joining me today on our very first review of an entire juice line that we don't even carry yet at the Boulder Vapor House. I'm anxious to hear what you have to say. So you can find us online at bouldervaporhouse.com or facebook.com/bouldervaporhouse. Do you make a line of juice? Would you like us to try it on the show? I would love that. Send it our way and I'm going to give you my honest and unbiased review of your juice line and tell you whether or not those juices are a great fit here in the home flavor at the Boulder Vapor House. Thanks once again for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.